This new moon in Sagittarius is a golden-haired goddess of opportunity, and it is happening on December 1st at 1:21 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's get into it. So, the reason I say it's a golden-haired goddess of opportunity is because that is the Sabian symbol for this new moon. When I looked up 10 Sagittarius, because this new moon is happening at 9 degrees Sagittarius, and we always round up a degree for the Sabian symbol, it was called a golden-haired goddess of opportunity. And the interpretation is this symbol embodies themes of opportunity, fortune, and recognizing moments of potential in life. The golden-haired goddess suggests divine or celestial intervention, urging you to seize opportunities when they present themselves. It also speaks to the importance of staying open, optimistic, and ready to embrace favorable circumstances as they may appear unexpectedly. Wow, we do have a shock and surprise. We do have an opportunity that could come unexpectedly. We have a breakthrough moment at this new moon, and that is Venus in Capricorn trining Uranus in Taurus. Uranus in Taurus has been awakening us to Taurus themes. It's been awakening us to authenticity, to truth, to a better future for humanity and how we can connect and live on this earthly plane. Taurus is an earth sign. It is showing us the higher perspective, because that's what Uranus does, is it allows us to see the higher perspective of whatever sign it's in. And with it being in Taurus, it's allowing us to see the higher perspective of Taurus. And so lessons we've been learning is that there is value in slowing down. There is value in connecting back to nature. There is value in simplicity, in simplifying. Taurus is about simplicity and simplifying. There is value in being present in the here and now. It's been awakening you to new values. Maybe you're a person who used to run around like a chicken with your head cut off, going after your goals. The reason I say this is because Venus in Capricorn is making a trine to Uranus. So maybe this is the breakthrough you have at this new moon. Venus in Capricorn is about reaching goals. It's about the values you hold when you're reaching goals. It's about being practical and a realist when it comes to getting shit done on this earthly plane, right? But with this trine to Uranus and Taurus, it's like, well, maybe the way you've been getting shit done on this earthly plane has actually been blocking you. That Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, Venus in Capricorn, and Saturn tends to block itself by being overly responsible or too self-critical, or it's comparing itself to other people all the time. And so it's because it wants to do things right and not waste time. And so with this trine to Uranus and Taurus, the breakthrough you could have at this new moon is, oh my God, I'm only wasting time by worrying about wasting time. Oh my God, actually, the way I get more done and live my life in more flow and feel better and feel in alignment and worry less is I just be present and I take my time. So there's some sort of expansion in your mindset around this new moon that's creating a new golden opportunity for you. And I think of Venus in Capricorn likes to withhold old structures. It really looks at what's worked in the past, what structures have worked. They produce certain results. It's what we need to do. And with this breakthrough to Uranus and Taurus, it's like those structures are changing. We're also coming off of Pluto having left Capricorn, but the structures are really changing because Pluto in Capricorn was basically doing a death and rebirth to the old hierarchical structures. And we're going to see those gifts over the next 3 years. That's what happens whenever Pluto leaves a sign. We tend to see the gifts, the outcome of Pluto having been in that sign the 3 years after it leaves. So I imagine in the next 3 years, a lot of government structures are going to fall. A lot of things are going to change. Banking's going to change. Government's going to change. Maybe our health organizations, all the different structures, the hierarchical structures are bound to change. And with that comes a shift in our values, a breakthrough in our values. We aren't valuing those old structures anymore. So potentially this breakthrough for you is around, you always thought you had to be disciplined in this way, or this is what it meant to be disciplined in your life. And discipline was a good thing. Being critical of yourself and pushing yourself and making yourself work really hard. Like maybe that helped you reach your goals in the past. And what I see at this new moon is it's a breakthrough in realizing, oh, fear and control and being critical of myself can only get me so far. And actually, I'm struggling the whole way there. And I imagine a big part of this golden opportunity that's coming is it's showing us The old way of struggle and criticizing yourself to get to the goals doesn't work anymore. The old way of being disciplined and coming at your life from fear doesn't work anymore. I talked about this in a really recent video that I put up, a couple of them, the Mercury retrograde video I put up and a new one on manifesting I put up. So I'll put those two videos in the show notes down below if you want to check it out. But we're moving in society from going about life from discipline versus devotion. And what are the difference between the two? And why I think devotion is a big part of this golden thread of opportunity we're being given at this new moon. Discipline is stemmed by fear. Discipline means you go against your body. Discipline means you go against your body's needs because you have this disciplined plan. And so when you have a disciplined plan, yes, it can help you reach goals. But the whole way there can feel like a struggle. It can feel really hard. It makes me think of someone who wants to be of service to people, but because they need to make money and do all these different things, they're really being disciplined about their business, but maybe then they've lost connection from why they started their business in the first place, which was because they wanted to help people. They wanted to serve. They wanted to give unconditionally. But then when their fears came in, like needing to pay their bills, needing money, wanting to know if they're even good at what they're doing, when all these fears piled in, they lost sight of why they're doing what they're doing. And so they start chasing goals from fear, from needing a certain amount of money, from working with a bunch of different business coaches, maybe. And the business coaches are like, this is how you bring in money. And so they go against love, they go against themselves. Remember, the South Node's still in Libra. We're shedding what we've learned from other people and moving into what's authentic and true for us and what we truly want. And so they go against themselves. And maybe they do achieve those goals, but it never feels good once they achieve the goal because the whole way they did it there out of alignment. They did it there from fear, from worry, from stress, from pressure, from pushing, from discipline. And so then I find that creates that cycle of, wow, I'm not even happy now that I achieved the goal and I'm on to the next thing. And that is what creates this stuckness, this stuck feeling in our life. This new moon is part of a Mercury retrograde. We're also thinking about the past and what's worked for us for the past, what we've always done in the past. We're bringing things back from the past. You could be bringing joy back from your past. You could be bringing old belief systems back from your past. You could be reconnecting with people from your past. We're reflecting on the past and what we've had success in and what we haven't. And so basically, that's part of this new moon too. We'll come back to that in a second. But this golden opportunity that we have, Jupiter rules this moon, and Jupiter is the planet of growth, luck, and expansion. Jupiter's been in Gemini. It's been helping us grow and expand in our mind and how we look at things, how we think about things. Jupiter is this planet of opportunities. And so by it helping us growing and expanding in our mind, it's helping us look at how to create opportunities in our life differently. Before, we thought we had to create opportunities from stress, from hustle, from grind, from following these set rules that maybe don't feel connected to our heart, but feel kind of cold and like just fuck your feelings, get there, you know? And what Saturn in Pisces has been teaching us is it's been really showing us that we sabotage ourselves more often than not when we come from fear. We take way longer to get somewhere when we come from fear. And when we come from unconditional love, we transmute all fear. We open up new pathways in our brain. We open up new pathways in our life. We become more magnetic. We attract more love. And those have been hard lessons from Saturn and Pisces, but it's been preparing us for the North Node moving into Pisces in 2025. So when I say Jupiter is ruling this moon and it's been helping us grow and expand in our mindset, at this new moon, Jupiter is making a lovely trine to Vesta, which is conjunct, so it's sharing forces with Lilith in Libra. Let's talk about these two asteroid goddesses for a second because they're big players in this new moon and part of this golden opportunity and what's creating this golden opportunity for you and helping you anchor into what's true for you and shed all of these things we've thought we've had to do, the things we've learned from society, the things we've learned from the past, the old ways of going about our goals. So Vesta is our spiritual mission and purpose. She is an asteroid goddess where wherever you have Vesta in your birth chart, you have 24/7 passion and energy and devotion to making something happen. I have a big relationship with Vesta in my life because I have Vesta in the fifth house of creativity and self-expression and fun and joy. And I could literally create from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to bed. I did that for Thanksgiving yesterday. I started baking from the moment I woke up, from the moment I went to bed, and at 11 o'clock, I wanted to bake more. That is Vesta. Vesta is energy where you could go forever. I could study astrology from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to bed and look at charts and make new meanings. And it's my favorite. I love creating. So you have that in you too. So when Vesta's transiting in the sky, she's giving us fuel. And she's giving us fuel to find balance and harmony in our life. She's in Libra. She's giving us fuel to get in touch with what will truly create a good relationship between me and others, between me and the universe. Libra is not just about relationships to people, it's relationships to anything, any one on one relationship. My relationship to my plant that's over there, my relationship to my computer, my relationship to food, my relationship to others, just other, something other than you. And because we have this creative fire, this creative flame to come into, what relationship do I want to be in with this other thing, with this goal, with this person, with this thing that I want, this other thing? And with it being with Lilith, asteroid goddess Lilith is empowered in creating fairness, even if it doesn't make sense to other people. Lilith could be looked at as a bitch or as crazy, but really she is deeply connected to her intuition and she doesn't give any F's about what you think. It's almost like that mother. This is what's coming through to me right now. When you have a kid and he's throwing a temper tantrum because he wants to do something dangerous that could kill him, like maybe jump off a third-story roof. Let's just come up with a weird example like that. I'm sure as their mother, you would not let them jump off that third-story roof because that's not going to end well. Lilith is the part of you that knows what's going to create balance and harmony in your life. But that kid could throw a temper tantrum and not like it. And maybe the kid's not used to you putting your foot down in this way. And you're very like, no, this is how it is. That kid could be like, I hate you, mom. You're the worst. You're this. Basically, can disrupt the peace. The kid can reject you. So that's Lilith's biggest fear is rejection because she is so anchored into her intuition, and intuition can be nonsensical, non-logical to maybe this kid who wants to jump off a third-story building that we're making up. Maybe they think the mom is being illogical by not letting them jump because maybe they jumped into pools and they've jumped into this and they've jumped into that and they just don't understand why they can't jump, you know? And so they're rejecting mom, being like, Mom, you're this, you're that. But a good mom, the Lilith mom, the empowered mom would be like, listen, my baby child is going to love me for this in 5 years. We're going to laugh at this story. We're going to look back on this story and we're going to talk about, remember that time you wanted to jump off a third-story building and I wouldn't let you and now you're still alive? And the kid's like, haha, yeah, great. So why am I saying this weird story? Because the empowered Lilith that's with this new moon with Vesta is passionate about creating true balance and harmony in her life by honoring your intuition and what's true for you in comparison to other people. What's true for you is likely different from other people. And so remember, South Node in Libra, we are shedding what other people think, how other people have told us to go after our goals, what other people told us is good for us, what other people told us is the best way to live our life. And we are coming into conviction around it. The trine from Vesta and Lilith to Jupiter and Gemini is helping us grow and expand in our voice. Gemini is how we communicate to other people. We are being given an opportunity to communicate our truth, our heart, and not just come from the rules, but question the rules, be rebellious against the rules. Remember, Uranus and Taurus. Uranus is also very rebellious. This trine to Venus and Capricorn. Capricorn rules. Venus values. We value the rules, but the rules that we're valuing are changing as we rebel. Now, the North Node in Aries has been helping us embody our authentic sense of self. And the Sabian symbol for where the North Node is right now is going to be Aries 5. And Aries 5 is about aligning your inner and outer self, which creates internal balance, right? So we have Vesta and Lilith in Libra, which wants to create balance, and this trine to Jupiter and Gemini, helping us expand in our mindset. And then the North Node in Aries, pushing us to embody our bold, new identity, owning our sense of self, is saying align your inner and outer self, create balance within yourself so you can create balance within your relationships. And what creates balance within yourself? Well, it's a balance of gratitude for yourself, it's a balance of listening, going inward, and being like, what do I love? What am I passionate about? What's fun for me? What drives me in this life? What can I do abundantly? The North Node in Aries is ruled by Mars right now in Leo. Leo is creativity and joy and play and hobbies and in the passion that is so high that it pushes you into taking new bold risks because you're so passionate about what's ever fun for you. Mars is ruling the North Node right now. So aligning your inner and outer self is about aligning your inner joy with your outer joy. If you're doing things that are not joyful for you, that just bring down your energy, then you're just walking around like an energy zombie and it's not super magnetic. Whereas Leo is also the sign of abundance. Why? Because when we connect to joy, we can do it abundantly. When we connect to joy, we attract people in because people want some of that. I've been really into watching near death experiences. I have Uranus on my sun right now, so in my eighth house of death. So I have been awakening up to near death experiences. And one thing that everyone says that like the thousands of stories I've listened to of people who have died and come back to life is that they learned that they're just supposed to live from unconditional love, that they came here to learn about love, to be love, to act from love. And as long as they do that, they will always be okay and they will always be supported and all will always be well. But that when you live from fear, it's the very thing that caused them to get sick and have the near death experience in the first place. Like that's every single story pretty much. And when they come back from the other side, they start to live that way. They decide to start living from love. And they've done studies on these thousands, hundreds of thousands of people who have died and come back to life. And in 10 years after their near death experience of following this new path of living life from love, of following their joy, of doing things from just wanting to give love and abundance to the world, that their whole life just gets better and better and better and does a 180 and just grows and expands. And they feel so at peace with themselves. And so that belief that following unconditional love after their near death experience only fourfolds. They say people actually end up believing 4 times the amount over the span of like 10 years after their near death experience because they integrate what they learned in that experience. And that after 10 years of living that way, they believe even more in their experience because now how their life has unfolded and what's happened and their understanding of life and their connection to spirit and themselves and how they're now at peace because they followed this. And that's been true in my life as well. This new moon is about you anchoring into joy. It's about you anchoring into the self-concept that you are unconditional love, that you literally are limitless. And that when you come from joy and abundance, you attract more joy and abundance. When you intend everything that you do in life and you align your inner self with your outer self, so you don't bypass your inner self. If your inner self is like, I hate this, this sucks, this doesn't feel good, or maybe your inner self is trying to manipulate someone to get what you want and that also doesn't feel good, that's a clue. Your inner and outer self are not aligned in the way maybe you want. So start aligning with the self-concept of the person who has what you want. Say, I'm a joyful person. I have fun in my life, and following the fun makes my life get better and better. Following my joy makes my life get better and better. Following my passion makes my life get better and better. And when you're not feeling joy, love, and passion, give yourself mental space. But there's a big ask at this new moon to align your inner reality with your outer reality. So if you don't like what's going on in your inner reality, do more fun things or start working on your self-concept that you're a joyful person, you're an abundant person, you're a selfless person. The more fun you have, your life gets better and better. So one last aspect I want to talk about for this new moon is we're going to have Jupiter in Gemini opposite Mercury in Sagittarius retrograde, obviously. So right now at this new moon, you could be feeling like a lot of ideas are coming in for your future and they all feel exciting and you want to do this and you want to do that. And maybe things from the past are coming back in and you're really reflecting on like what opportunities do I want to create for myself? What path do I want to go in? What's my most fulfilling direction? And so if you do have big ideas resurfacing from the past right now, they could be resurfacing from your childhood, from when you were younger. Pay attention to those things. They are bringing you clues into what gives you life force energy, that Leo life force energy, because that is part of your power in this lifetime. That is part of what you're supposed to listen to in this lifetime. That is your golden opportunity. Now, if you're starting something new around this time, then you could also be repeating the same pattern from the past, where maybe the pattern is you say you want to reach this certain vision, but then you're really scattered in getting it because Mercury's in Sagittarius. Jupiter in Gemini, opposite Mercury retrograde. Jupiter in Gemini could be you listening to all these different people's truths, learning a million different truths from all these different people. Jupiter's about truth. Gemini is about learning and not just learning from one source, but learning from many sources. And so that could be the golden opportunity at this new moon, where you recognize that you're too scattered and all over the place because you don't truly have faith in the vision that you have. When we are scattered and we're learning from a million different sources without checking in with ourselves, it's because we don't have faith in ourselves. We think the answer is outside of yourself. And a big part of this new moon is really anchoring into the knowing, the fact that all of the answers are inside of yourself. Sagittarius is about your truth that you gained through your life experience and what you learned. When I learn about a lot of these near-death experiences, they all say that what they learn on the other side is that we're here to learn, and that no decisions that we make are right or wrong. We're just here to learn. Imagine how much easier life would be if you reminded yourself that you're just here to learn and that you can't make the wrong mistake. I bet you'd have a lot more fun. I bet you'd enjoy your life a lot more. I bet you'd be able to come from unconditional love more because you would forgive your mistakes and you would forgive other people's mistakes, knowing that we are all here to learn. And when you can forgive other people's mistakes is when you have more freedom and empowerment, and you transmute fear into love, and we stop getting triggered, and we stop hate, and we collectively become love. By the way, I have a Black Friday sale going on today. I have 10 spots for a 30-day self-concept package with me. So I'm going to help you align your self-concept with your birth charts. Your life will change in 30 days. You will feel differently on the inside. People are going to repeat back to you your self-concept. I promise you, it's mind-blowing. And then your external reality is going to shift. Also, part of the proceeds for this Black Friday deal go to supporting research on near-death experiences, because I think this is the way of the future. I think this is going to be a big part of Pluto and Aquarius. We're going to be connecting to the fact that we are infinite souls. And so I'm a big fan of Eben Alexander's work. If no one here has heard of him, he has the book Proof of Heaven, and he has a charity called Eternia, which is dedicated to doing research on consciousness expansion, which I believe will better humanity. So you're not only going to better yourself over these next 30 days, but you're going to better humanity because you're going to be part of donating to that fund. So that is my interpretation for this new moon. It is a new beginning to really align your inner reality with your outer reality, to connect with your truth, to come from love instead of fear, to pave your own path through what's fun and joyous for you, based on maybe even connecting with your inner child. Your inner child was the most connected to God. And so there are a lot of clues there, this Mercury retrograde, especially with Mercury retrograde being part of this new moon. So that was the new moon. Again, if you want to snag my Black Friday deal, only 10 spots. So I don't know how many spots are left as I'm recording this, but the deal will go until midnight on Monday. It is beyond a steal. So you can check out that link in the show notes below, and I will see you guys on the next episode/video. If you liked this episode, make sure to subscribe, hit the like bell, leave me a comment, leave me a little heart if you made it till the end, and I'll see you guys on the next video.